Welcome back to Rayman Revolution. This is part 3. We're making our way down this giant section of level design with this really well done optical illusion. Look at this. Yeah, it's not actually flowing. It just looks like it is because the way the texture is being moved. Now that's cool. Optional combat encounter, except that, is it really optional? It is optional, except that I get some health from it. That's like the only reason you have to fight these dudes, the fact you get a little bit of health. And this section looks very different compared to how it did in the N64 version. Mainly because it has been completely redone. Again, I'm not like the most familiar, I'm not Frame Rater, right? I'm not the most familiar person with Rayman 2 in the world. So I wouldn't say that I can tell exactly when a particular section of level design was redone. This one definitely looks different though. I like the way the shadow kind of fades in. It's really nice. Anyway, I don't remember these bits of fire sticking out right here either. We have a little cage we gotta save. It's very useful to listen out for the audio hints. Again, why I turn down the music. So that we can actually hear what's going on, because you need those sound cues. Because sometimes those cages aren't in plain sight like that, and you really gotta go out of your way to look for them. What else are we supposed to do? Sometimes I speak as if I'm having a stirk, but maybe I am. I don't know. I shouldn't joke about that, actually. That's some nice looking water. It's not water, it's oil. Still. Let's hope the US doesn't invade this section of the level. Haha, funny. You can definitely tell that these particular slabs have been redone for PS2. I imagine. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to point out those things. Why is there fungus growing on this? Polygons. It's actually polygonal this time. And I believe that there's a secret over here. Well, I see secret. It's probably not very secret if it's that easy to find. Or maybe not. No. Because again, this game... Oh, motherfucker. This is the kind of game where... You will... Am I seriously... Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter. I can just jump. I can just send Rayman just flying like this. Whee! All the way down. Because there's nothing for me to collect. It is kind of amazing how the way the levels are designed actually gives them a decent amount of speedrun potential, because you can really just skip a lot of shit. You know? I didn't necessarily... I mean, actually... Do you have to have a certain... I know you don't need a certain number of lums to... be able to progress, but I'm not sure about the blue fairies.
You see these air currents, Rayman? Activate your helicopter in them, and you'll fly.
I love how the game's tutorializing the helicopter here right after the section where it would be most useful. Hell yes, I can hear that you need help. I'm just gonna... These air currents definitely look a lot nicer. This whole playthrough is just gonna be pointing out differences between the versions, because, I mean, what else can I... That's the sort of the dilemma of Rayman 2. The fact that it's a very pleasant game to play through, but it achieves that by not being very challenging, right? And it's not like a game... can't be fun even when it's hard. No, in fact, a lot of people will specifically look for difficulty in games. But I can't deny that, in my experience, a game becomes far less confrontational, I guess, when it's just so fucking easy. Even though that will obviously hurt its potential audience to an extent. Again, I can imagine some people just genuinely not wanting to play this game because, like, oh, there's like the... Yeah, here's the thing, though. I think Rayman Revolution, in particular, does introduce some things that makes it a little bit more difficult. I was playing through my practice save, I guess you'd call it, and I got to this one boss fight. And I beat it on my second try, but, like, geez, the fucker is, like, he turns the game into a bullet hell, you know? He shoots so much shit at you, and you pretty much, like, you can avoid it by taking cover. And yeah, the game incorporates cover mechanics. So there are sections where, oh, that hitbox is so generous. There are sections where you will get hit. There are hit scan weapons in this game, and you have to hide somewhere. Which, it's not like it's it's a totally unique concept. No, it's a common thing. It's just that when I think of a 3D platformer, for some reason, I never think of, like, oh, hit scan enemies. I don't know. The concept of hit scan is such a first-person shooter type thing for me that seeing it in a not first-person shooter, it's just kind of like, what? That doesn't belong here. That's like if I were playing this game with WASD right now, which I could make it like that, yes, but, you know, why would I do that? The lum swinging mechanic is probably one of my favorite things in the world because it just has such a great sense of inertia. Look at it. It's obviously not actually physics-driven. Oh, come on, man. Why'd you have to do that, Rayman? Fuck it. What the fuck? Okay. I think a robot pirate just succumbed to himself. He just died out of nowhere. I love when that happens. The game just randomly shows you a health bar depleting and you're just like, okay, did I do that? Did I kill him somehow? I think this is actually, yeah, this is the end of the level, isn't it? I think this is where you free, occasionally you'll have to free a teensy instead.
Listen carefully. The pirates have captured loads of teensies. Free. Each time you free one, he will take you to a teensy circle. From this circle, you can return to a world you have already visited by going through a magic spiral door.
You can clearly tell they recorded their lines like as you normally would in one take, and then they split them up later. It sounds really unnatural. So, are you gonna... Yeah, there it is. Do-do-do-do-do. That's really fun. I love how that's literally just the original MIDI. Like, it sounds like... It doesn't sound like actual guitar playing. I know you can play it on guitar, totally. It's multiple guitars, but still... You know, I wonder if people get confused when they see, like, access denied, because you think... What are you denying? Well, the thing is you unlock, I think, extra stages and stuff, but... And that was in the original as well. And it's... Okay, here's the thing. I actually really dislike it when games do that, implying a failure even when you win, because it just makes it seem like you're not really doing anything right. I don't know. Are we gonna...
Hey, Rayman.
Yeah.
Lee told me to help you find the four masks. I know that the first one is in the temple on the Lost Island. This is the only one who can take you. But the pirates have captured him. He's being held in the bayou near the marshlands.
Alright, you gotta remember that. The bayou near the marshlands. Well, if you hit this, there you go. Hit select, and you instantly see what you gotta do. Absolutely wonderful feature. I would not be able to beat the game without it. And the signs. They're absolutely fantastic as well. The fact that you could just look at that thing real quick, and you can tell. So what was I going on about the hub worlds? I think I didn't really make myself very clear when I said that, oh, there's not much separation. Well, I don't know. I guess it's because of the theme. They don't feel any different, right? They have the same art design. I'm not sure if they were actually handled by the same people. I have no idea if the same development team was involved with this game. I could probably look that up. But I feel at times that it might not have been the case, but they did a good enough job. Oh, wait a second. This is not where I was supposed to... Oh, come on. Okay, let's go the other way. Actually, we can trigger a little cutscene here, which I think is unique to this part of the game, so let's go ahead and check it out.
I can open the door to magical worlds where you can increase your power. But to do so, I'll need my friend's energy. Remember this. Each time you free 10 familiar spirits, go near one of my magic stones, and I'll give you access to a new world. Rayman, you haven't freed enough familiar spirits to open a new world.
And it's pretty much what I was talking about earlier when it came to the fact that basically Lee is your incentive to free those spirits, right? That's what they're called, the familiar spirits or friend spirits, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I just call them the blue fairies or something. Can we get past this saving section? Yes, we can. Let's go ahead and I guess we're going to save again. Not no real point. BKYZ, I always find that really funny. I don't know. It's because there's no numbers for some reason. I can't just call it BKY2. So obviously, we were going the wrong way. Look what it says. We got to go to the bayou, which means we actually should have gone in this direction, I think. There's no path, but usually you have to follow a very clear path. Let's go ahead and grab these lums, though, just because we can. And there is actually, I can showcase, I don't think I've shown it so far, these store mechanics. So let's go ahead and walk all the way over here. And yes, you can, in fact, use these precious lums, which they're this finite resource. You can use them to buy stuff.
Energy from the yellow lums to enhance your powers. Use the analog stick to scroll through the list of enhancements. Stop on the one you choose, check you have enough lums, and press the cross button.
Yes, let me just use my real analog stick. So, what can we buy? Well, there's a lot of useful stuff in here. I've actually never purchased the accumulation upgrade. Basically, it's a charge shot, and there's also run with load. And you know what I'm going to do? Okay, I know that reload had more bangers on it, but load was kind of cool too. They really stretched their legs there when it came to songwriting. Whatever. But here's the thing. I kind of want to get this, but at the same time, I am curious. I imagine that this would do more damage consistently to your enemies. And if that means getting through the combat encounters faster, I'm definitely going to go with that instead. I would rather have a more powerful shot, especially at this point in the game where we're so weak. Let's actually see how Rayman charges it. So let's hold it down. Oh, he's literally doing a Kamehameha. Yeah, okay, well, wait a second. Is its range short? No, it's normal ranged. Okay. Hopefully that'll come in handy, even though the boss that I particularly had a hard time with, yes, believe it or not, I actually was able to have a difficult time with a section of this game. It's a pretty easy game, but it's not. There's actually a platforming bit, which is like really fucking inconsistent and annoying.
Watch out for the...
Yeah, I know. I believe the section that we have to visit, the marshlands, which are over there. This is the fairy glade. So I just gotta keep going through this part of the level. It's not a level. There it is again. I'm mistaking it. Even walking through the same section. This is actually the the marshlands. I hope I'm gonna find them. Of course I'm gonna find them. If an idiot like me can get through this section. And here's the thing, right? Oh wait, is this where we have to go? I'm pretty sure it is. Now that we have the ability, I imagine that they intentionally put these here so that you couldn't come here too soon accidentally. Can we? Rayman. Yeah, Rayman. Can you please? What is going on? Can Rayman not grab onto them anymore because of the... Oh, okay, there you go. Because of the fact that I got the accumulation. Now, which path do I take, though? Because I really want to get... I mean, maybe they don't lead to anything different. We're going to find out. Just make sure we land it. Yes, okay. What's this? This is the Marshes of Awakening. We're not going to want to go there. All right. We don't want to play Unreal 2 The Awakening just yet. Speaking of which... What if I actually do a series on that? I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult of a game to do. I totally have to play it on normal difficulty because it's one of those games. One of those very, actually, pleasantly surprising games in the sense that when you... Wait a second. Trapped in the... Yes. When you select normal difficulty, it really isn't super hard. When you pick easy difficulty, it's like impossible to die. And if you pick hard difficulty, it's just hard as shit. And I like that. It makes sense. It's not like some other games where easy is... Oh, sorry, cutscene.
The pirate prison ship. Slaves now on board, 22,730. In Razorbeard's private cabin.
You'll pay for that, soldier.
Who dares disturb me?
Somewhere on his feet, he's made it through the swamp.
What? You incompetent imbecile! Send the warship and destroy him. He mustn't get his grubby hands on the foremast.
Is it just me or have they changed the order of the levels around as well? Because I swear I do not remember this particular level being played this early in the original Rayman 2. I'm not complaining. I really like this level. It's one of the best ones in the game, to be honest. And it's not to say that the game just keeps getting worse. What I was referring to earlier when it came to the difficulty, not the difficulty settings that I was talking about, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about them. No, it's... Oh, no. Wait a second. Can I still get it? Oh, shit. This is going to be one of those super tight moments where it's just going to be almost impossible, and actually it was. The checkpoint system is... Oh, it's actually not as stingy as I remember it being, because I swear to God, like, typically you'd have to go all the way back to the beginning of that section, but I guess not. That's good. So what I was talking about earlier is there's a level later on in the game, it's like this giant lava temple, right? Fuck. Where not okay. The main, most difficult part is this a shell riding bit, right, where you ride it like a horse, and the physics are just totally like the collision detection just doesn't work. I'm not sure if the original was like that because I haven't gotten that far in the original, but in this version, yeah, you can just take the exact same bit of the level the exact same way, and you'll get two different outcomes because that's how it works. Apparently, I don't get that, and I was thinking maybe it's because I'm playing the PAL version, because I'm a stickler for playing like the original version. This is a European game, it's a French game, so I'm like, okay, play the European version. I was thinking like, wait, what if maybe they optimize it for 30p instead? Well, no, the thing is though, if the game's programmed correctly, it shouldn't make a difference what frame rate you play at. Like yes, with certain engines, there can be a difference. I used to experiment a lot with like RTSS, which lets you set the frame rate to, well, primarily you can use it to limit the frame rate to like ridiculous values, right? So I was like, okay, I was testing it out on the Sonic fan game in the Unreal Engine called Sonic Souls. I should probably be more specific, you know, when I say like Unreal Engine Sonic fan game. And what happened was when you go below 21 FPS, the collision detection starts to break. And I imagine it's because Sonic moves fast enough that the game is no longer, it can't check enough times for collision, right, relative to how fast he's moving. So I find that interesting that it can happen, but I don't think 25 should be that bad, especially for a slow-moving game like this, right? And yes, this is technically running at 25. I know for a PC Master Race guide, it's just like the end of the world, but honestly, it plays all right. It's all a matter of if the game is a fluid experience or not. And honestly, I'd still prefer this over the original PC version, which is just like, I don't know what's up with that game. Like, the animations and the frame rate, they just don't feel synced properly, and everything just kind of breaks. The game also absolutely despises you trying to alt-tab. So, if you do that, you have to literally hard reset your computer. It just does something to the resolution, and just breaks everything. But what else was I talking about? Oh yeah, there's also this plum writing bit that's just wait a second. Yes, BKYZ, just making sure I don't overwrite the wrong save. Even though I do have a save state as well. I'm going to try not to use save states here because, I mean, come on. Save states in Rayman 2. In Rayman 1, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the only way to play that game. I'm pretty sure Michel Ancel is just he could see in the future. Actually, I'm pretty sure emulators were a thing at that point. Just, you know, not like how they are today, obviously, where you're basically just like, you know, everyone just loads up their fucking dolphins and got bada boom, bada bing. But they've been around for quite some time. They've been around for almost as long as gaming itself. Well, okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but still, you know, for as long as I can remember, they've been around for longer than I was alive. You know, you ever wonder why SNES 9X is called that? It's because it was literally developed for Windows 9X. You know, the 90s version. What's this? Oh, it's
Watch out! The pirates are coming!
Oh no, whatever shall I do? It's not like I can just stand in place and mash the firing button. Oh man, this game's combat is so intricate. Dude, it's so complicated. Look at this. I'm having such a hard time dodging these attacks. Anyway, I noticed that the models for these like mushrooms kind of remind me of, I guess they remind me of Crash Bandicoot's bonus stage, or at least the ones used in the Insane trilogy, but to be fair, there's only so many ways you can model like a mushroom like that. I'm assuming it's a giant mushroom because it kind of just looks like the bill of a duck. I don't know, someone pointed that out during the SGB Plays playthrough, and I haven't been able to unsee it.
Yeah! Free at last! Thank you, Rayman! Meet me on the pier next to the Minisaurus plane, and I'll take you to the Lost Island.
The pier on the Minisaurus plane? Okay, off we go!
Man, that model looks bad. Also, that sounds like SpongeBob to me. I know it's probably not Tom Kenny. In fact, this game came out around the same time as SpongeBob, I think. Although, come to think of it, let me think for a second, actually. Oh yeah, Tom Kenny also voices Spyro in Spyro 2, which was, again, right before SpongeBob, I think. So in a way, he actually debuted that same... He uses a different voice. Actually, there are some characters in Spyro 2, I think, that genuinely do use a very SpongeBob-esque voice. because it's just one of the voices he uses. I think I can actually go ahead and grab one of these top lumps if I make the right jump. Yes, some Donkey Kong malarkey. Well, kind of not really. We're going to have to do it again. Nope. Squish Rayman. Let's do it again. Jump, and there you go. He automatically jumps afterwards. You don't hit the jump button the second time. I don't think there's any more lumps to get, so let's just go ahead and check to make sure. Nope. I love how the first-person camera is like pretty much always allowed, even in sections where you're not supposed to be able to move the camera. Maybe they added that. Again, I don't remember. Did they add that later? I really should check. I literally still have the original... I literally still have a cartridge, an N64 cartridge, sitting around in my closet of the original Rayman 2, so I can totally check. No, but really, I could actually check if that was a thing originally. These guys right here, you avoid them by, well, tricking them into falling to their death. And that right there is called Coyote Time, which I believe is actually something that you're supposed to be able to program at some point, which makes platformers a little bit easier, or you could just give your character a bigger hitbox. Well, a bigger bottom hitbox so that they don't fall quite as easily. Whatever, what am I talking? I really shouldn't let that whole... What's funny is that I'm talking about all these things that I'm learning right now, that by the time this video is out, I'll probably be done with whatever project I'm working on if I actually get off my ass and do the fucking levels. Because I've made the sprites, I've made the animations, I've made the tiles. I can make some music. That'll be the easiest part of the whole thing, obviously. But, you know, I gotta make the levels too, which, I mean, now I've got a tool to build the levels, sure. But at the same time, it's like... what do I've implemented springs, really easy to do, and I've also implemented moving platforms. They're so simple, they don't even require code, like no programming at all to get it to work. Moving text, on the other hand, well, text that has to be triggered, yes, that one does require just a single line, actually no, 2 lines. You have to hide it first when the asset is loaded in, and then you also have to, what do you do after that? Shit, you need to use an area 2D to check for collisions, and you know, you set your box wherever you want the collision to happen, and then when the collision happens, you then play the animation that you've made using an animation player, and then you have to make it inactive so the player can't re-trigger it, and you also obviously make it visible so the player can see it, because it starts off hidden, because it starts in the default location. Anyway, that's more shop talk, always fun to share. And that's actually going to do it for this episode, because it's been quite some time now. Well, let's just see what the teensies have to say.
Now that Bazit is free, he can take you to the Lost Island. There, you will find the first mask. Go now. Bazit is waiting for you on the pier.
We're going to take that journey later. In part 4 of Rayman Revolution. I'll see you guys then.
Go and join Bazit on the pier. He will take you to the Lost Island.
Yes, I know, teensy, alright? Let me just... freaking... oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, see you guys in part 4.